Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center. Here to congratulate you on your Jayco Eagle HT 30.5 CKTS fifth wheel. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for this awning, as well as your slide. On your off campsite, leave plenty of room for your slides. But I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Power is going to be right here, and your water connection is going to be right in front of it. All at the front of the unit. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive, we're going to come to our auto leveling system in here. Touch the up and down arrows. That's going to turn it on. And we're going to lift it up enough to get the unit up, or the trailer unhooked. Get your tow vehicle up out of the way, come inside here and simply touch auto level. Now again, make sure that your vehicle is completely out of the front of the way, because a lot of times the front end will dip down first. And it's going to run down your auto leveling system back here. Once everything's level and stable, we'll go ahead and hook up our power and water. Now I'm going to let these run for a few minutes here. Waiting for them to kick in, and when they're done, that flashing green light will be a solid green. So as you see right now, starting to lower the front down, keep this nice and level, and it's going to bring her down our leveling jacks back here. There they go. Again, these will run down. We'll be level and stable. We can hook up our power and water. Now your unit's gonna have a big long 30-foot 50 amp cord. The way these plug in now is they're kind of at 11 o'clock, and then turn them to the right to lock them in, and then lock washer. You can get 50 to 30 dog bones that come in the convenience pack. That'll bring you from 50 to 30 amp, and then you can always get a 30 to 15 amp reducer as well. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. I'm watching that leveling units real quick here. Make sure that finishes up. It does take a few minutes for that to run. And when it's all level, we'll go ahead and hook up our water. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protect the lines of your unit. Always use these when hooking up, because you don't know what water pressure is at different campsites. So at campsites, we're going to hook up like city water. Green to the left, blue to the right. Those are set exactly how we need them to be. Grab our water pressure regulator and hook that up over here to where it says. Grab that water pressure regulator, hook it up right here, which says city water connection. One more step, and that's the look over here at your hot water heater. Make sure that is turned to the temperature that you want it, and that is turned on. We'll turn that on actually from indoors as well. Go ahead and turn that hose on. What I'm going to need you to do next is go inside and open up your slides so that we can open up all of our water lines. Coming up inside the unit, we're going to come over here to our control panel, touch number 1. Number 1 is going to turn on our interior lights. Touch our control panel and go to motors. Scroll this down. Start with slide out number 1. Hit extend. That's going to be our bedroom slide in there. That would necessarily didn't have to be done, but while we're doing it, we'll go ahead and do them all. Alright, so get in here. Open up your water lines. Let them flow until all the air is out of the lines. You get a nice steady flow of water. Same thing in your kitchen area, or your island. Run the water. Shower as well. Get in there, turn that water on. Get all the air out of the lines. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. And then you're all set up to camp. Get the last of our slides out here. That noise is okay to hear. That noise is the slide saying I'm all the way out. Sometimes we do it coming in as well. Alright, so we're all set up to campsite now. Let's say we're going to go dry camping. In that case, we're going to have a two-step process. We're going to start by filling the tanks. Turn your blue down here. You do everything in the same spot here. Turn on the hose here. Go inside. When you check the levels of your black and gray tanks, watch your freshwater button. Don't leave this unattended while you're filling it. Once it's full, we're going to switch from tank fill to dry camp. Switch that blue over, that green down. Now we're matching dry camp. Now whenever we want to utilize that water, we'll turn on a water pump. You can turn it on out here, or you can turn it on indoors. Just wherever you turn it on at, make sure that's where you shut it off at. Alright, we're all set up with power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit, continuing here in the docking station. Big spray port hose will go to that spray area up there. Right there is where you can plug in a solar panel to trickle charge some batteries. Back behind here, you've got your cable, satellite, auxiliaries, black tank flush, water pump. Right here is where you can get your sanitize and winterize. And over here is your city and water connections. Right in there is where you will go ahead and line. Down below there is where we dump our black and gray tanks. Over there's the dump for that. And here's an area you can run your hoses down through. Up here again, our auto leveling system. More info on that. A battery disconnect. That'll disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. Speaking of propane, lefty loosey to open. There's our hydraulics for our leveling system. It's a flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you're running it, be clear, it gets really hot. Hot water heater. Low point drains are right up underneath here. There they are. Access panels to the back of our fridge. A vent for your microwave. Another low point drain up underneath there. That's your freshwater drain. Got a ladder. Utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year and caulk. Check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You're also prepped for a backup camera. All your towing package information is right here. This is where your J-port bar will slide into. It's a manual crank to bring down your spare tire. From down our campsite, we do got that spray port hose you can bring over here to spray things off on this side as well. As you pass through, you can hook up a TV up out here. You got your 110 and cable and charging ports out here as well. Your other propane. There's your battery posts. Check them every now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. About covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Coming up beside the unit. First thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Also coming straight in on the floor here is your 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention this is 12 volt, always running off your battery. So if you are dry camping, you're going to be gone for the day and you don't want this to run your battery down, go ahead and use that battery disconnect up front. Access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Ton of 15s in there, a couple of 25s. Highly recommend having some of them with you when you go. This is a thermostat temperature reader. And before I get into the control panel, I'll tell you about your door. Slam locks work best when gently slammed. So back at our control panel, I'm going to start at the bottom here. Number 1 is interior lights. Number 2 is exterior. Number 3 is both. WP is for your water pump. This stands for extend and retract. I'm going to start this at off. Next is pair. This is where you can pair your phone or device to the BM Pro app. Awning 1, slide 2, slide 3. That's what these extend and retracts are for. So let's go to awning 1. I'll show you outside on your awning. You only want to run these out until you see your bar and that flap has fallen down. If you were to continue to hold the extend out, get back to awning 1, that will continue to run itself out and start to run itself up backwards onto itself. So when you run it out, keep an eye on it. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. Doing awning 1. You can do that here or from another spot on the control panel. But this is just almost like the bottom section here. It's almost like just a little shortcut menu. Again, showed you what you can go through there. So let's go back to our control panel. Going to home, you can control my climate, my lights, my motors, see my tanks, and see what my energy is doing. Or do them individually over here. J-Command BM Pro, that's our app that we want. So we're going to go to tanks. Here's where you can check the levels of your tanks. Here's another spot you can turn on your water pump. You can do in motors, you can do our auto leveling system or our slides or our awning. Temperature, you go ahead and turn that on. That's on heat. I just crank the heat on. I'm going to shut that heat off. That takes a few minutes to cycle through. But if I change this heat to AC, you hear that kick on. That helix system is really quiet. I'm going to shut that AC off. The AC actually shuts off right away. The heat fans, them tend to run for a few minutes before they cycle off. Your second AC up in your bedroom. Lights are all dimmable. Watch your dinette here as I slide this down. So yep, they are just all dimmable by sliding this bar here. Or turn them off. Turn them back on here. Next is our sensors, tire pressure monitoring, keeps an eye on that. And then lastly, our batteries. That covers everything on the control panel. Head into the living room. Just want to mention in the kitchen area here on our island, we do have a 110 with GFCI reset on it. Now the individual lighting. Our Dometic fridge. In the top of the freezer on the right is our controls. Here's our readings for the controls. So we turn it on. Then it's on auto. Auto means when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you're on gas. Or you can make that say, switch it to strictly gas. Or back to auto, and then here's your temperature set, 1 through 5. Self-explanatory microwave. We've got a high and low fan and light. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Crank that up, turn that to light, hit your spark, there's your flame. Same thing on all these. These are all light from here, including your oven. No need to get in there to light the pilot light anymore. Turn this to the light, hit your spark here, that will light your pilot light, then turn it to your desired temperature. Rock that panel light down, become an oven light. Coming into our living room, I'm going to crank some more lights on here. And the remotes. Alright, found the remotes. Grab the one for your TV. I will tell you on your television, you will have to go into home, run a digital channel scan so that you can pick up all the channels at the campsite. Also got a remote for your sound system and your fireplace. You crank your sound system on till you've got AM, FM, Bluetooth, auxiliary, nice sound system. It's JBL, so you know it's gonna Sound really nice. I don't know how many stations I'll pick up inside. There we go. But dual zoned, indoors and outdoors, or both. Below that, your fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. I can go through and show you all the pretty colors. But the biggest thing now, folks, is the heat. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, instead of using your gas, if you're at a campsite, crank this heater up on here and it'll get toasty in here in no time. 110 and a couple charging ports here. And let me show you how to turn your sofa into a bed. Start by removing your Velcro cushions. I'm going to grab this in the middle, gives you great leverage. Hold your legs out, pull it towards you. Fold the back part down, and just that quickly, you've got another sleeping area. Keep that sticker on there or stick it up underneath somewhere. That's to show you the model number for this. But putting it away, make sure you lift your back up first. Otherwise, you could really damage this. Lift up again, stand in the middle, gives you great leverage. Fold it down. Put the cushions away. We do have a removable cup holder dinette seating, parachute recliner called a parachute pull, charging ports for your lighting, your table. Tons of paperwork in here. Go through it and register anything you deem you need to. Hydraulic to hold that up. This will extend. Under your seats, storage as well. Two folding chairs up underneath your bed to match those. Coming up into our bathroom. Turn on all the lights and show you this is where once you have water in your water heater, this is where you'll turn that on for gas. 110. Our shower head. Do have a hand crank open exhaust vent here as well. Make sure that when you're closing this unit up, you have the slides off, or nothing in between the slide and the wall. And there are folding chairs and our manual override crank for our spare tire. Second AC unit back here. You prep for a TV as well. And here's where your backer can go on for that. Another temperature reader. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start back in the bedrooms and shut these lights off. This is a door that you want secured for travel. Make sure you snap that closed. Shut these lights off. Make sure any vents are closed. Touch number 1, that's going to shut off all my interior lights. Then it's going to show me all the other lights that I have to walk through and shut off, our little accent lights. Then I'm going to say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit. Shut everything off and tuck it away. Come back here to number 1. Walk through the unit. Close all doors and drawers. Make sure everything's secure. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. Very important that these doors are closed, as well as in here. Let's get this prepped to close up. Alright, this time we'll do these from the control panel. Actually, we did it from the control panel last time. Let's close this one. Retract slide number 3. Then we'll do the other 2 from the bottom. come down here to slide number 2 and hit retract. So bring in our kitchen slide. Again, we closed all our doors and drawers, made sure nothing was in the way of that. Sometimes your finger will slip off these. And number 1, retract. Alright. Hit number 1 to shut off our interior lights and exit the unit. Now the biggest thing on these steps, whether bringing them up or down, you want to make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this will catch on it when it comes up. Adjustable feet as well, simply push in on that and that'll release this to move. Before you leave the dump station, we're going to lock, deadbolt, lift and turn your handle. That's how you want that to travel. Alright, so if we are dry camping, we're going to head around here. To our auto leveling system. Make sure no vehicle's in the way yet. Turn that back on. Like holding them to again. Now we're just going to touch retract all. Now while that brings up the leveling systems, for dry camping, right up underneath here, we're going to dump that freshwater tank and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we need. If we're at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. And park accordingly. Your dump's going to be right in front of your tires on your off-camp side. The 10-foot hose comes in the convenience pack. Hook that up. First thing we're going to pull is that black handle. Now once it sounds like that's no longer draining, go inside, look at your black tank, make sure it's empty. If it is, come back out here. Leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook up here to this tank flush. Let that run for a good 5 minutes, emphasizing with that black handle open. Wash all that nastiness out of there. When that's done, close that black handle. Make sure all that water that you just put in there has drained out. And then close your black and pour your gray. While my grays are going, I like to get up underneath here and dump my low point drains. When the first gray is done, close that up and pour your second gray. When that one is done, take your hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it away somewhere. Hook up your hitch and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Eagle for many years to come. Happy camping!